The ground for idolatry, the ground for divorce is idolatry or fornication committed after a contract being detected before marriage. This gives an occasion to the innocent party to dissolve that contract or engagement, right? Then you can sue out for divorce. And after the divorce, marry another, it's as if the offending party were dead. This life goes on. Human and cultural tendency is to argue and look for divorce in the case of worldliness and lustfulness. Yes, this is a major statement. This is my class, Westminster's Confession, saying that human and cultural tendency, human tendency celebrate that, and they are to look for, argue for a reason to divorce, because in the case of worldliness and lustfulness, we should not be left to ourselves making that decision to divorce. Number one, we are prone to make a legitimate, illegitimate excuse to divorce. Did you hear that? This is a great line. Human beings, we are prone, especially guys, especially men, are prone to making a legitimate, we think is a legitimate, is what is so-called actually an illegitimate excuse for divorce. Divorce and remarriage must be caused as strong as adultery in defense. Adultery is only a mortal wound for marriage. You hear that? Adultery is a mortal wound in marriage. It's incurable. It's really hard. Christians ought to be clear how to promote marriage. We should be equally clear in our minds that nothing but adultery or Paul adds a desertion of a spouse may be acceptable grounds for divorce. Now, this is a good one. Old Testament laws has a profound wisdom in requiring a public hearing and an orderly course in proceeding the consideration of divorce. Public hearing. Since marriage is such an intimate thing, and the breakdown marriage has such a destructive thing, the husband and wife should not be left to make their own decision themselves. They ought to seek counsel. They ought to seek wise counsel from both the church and the magistrate, and then they ought to pay attention to it. You just don't do your own things. You really have to bring to your pastor, to your eldership for counseling. That kind of process has to happen if it's going towards that direction. Furthermore, since marriage is an orderly public declaration, there should be an orderly public attempt to mend marriage by church and civil government. If such remedial action fails, only then should we consider there is sufficient cause which dissolves from the bond of marriage. It's a good one.